put the word click. And I want to see it strolling down. I am ready to understand this whole thing about getting people ready to click. So, good morning. My name is Dr. Alana DeGrassa. I'm the president of Turning on the Lights Global Institute. And what I like to do when I'm not with my consultants is I love to come in virtual spaces like this to really show you that we can remove the tech overwhelm and we can really see that these tools of social media really are just built, really what I call bridge builders, to really allowing those people that follow us, like us, our fans, or even if we're just new to this, really allowing them to see that this is a real process. You're a real authentic person or business owner. And, once we remove all that tech overwhelm, we're going to be okay. So everybody just do a favor, pretend I'm staring right at you, because I've been giving a lot of presentations. Pre-COVID, I would have been right in your face. So pretend I'm right in your face. And somebody just go, breathe in and breathe out. Put in the chat box, I did it. Breathe in and breathe out. I did it. Good morning. It's so important to say that you did that, because people go haywire when they think about social media. Not only that, somebody put in the chat box, I want more. Give me more, Dr. D. Someone put in the chat box, give me more, because I want to give you a real picture of what I did when I first began as what we call a micro influencer, showing hundreds and thousands of people how to tell and share their genius with social media, whether it was with a product or whether it was with a service. So I'm going to give you guys an example of what I would do when I was going live directly on Instagram. So who says I'm ready? Put that in the chat box. Oh my gosh, Dr. D, I'm absolutely ready. And I've got a bunch of screens open, so you guys just have to be patient with me as I open up this other piece. Yes, she says I'm ready, so get ready, because I like to not only explain the why behind what I do, but I also want you to experience it. So if you can hear this, who can hear it with me? Hey, hey, hey. To the left, y'all. To the left. Oh. To the right, y'all. Hey. Around, y'all. Who's dancing with me? Come on, y'all. Hey. To the left, y'all. Hey. To the right, y'all. Oh. Bring it around, y'all. Hey. That's what we got to do. We got to have some fun in the beginning. To the right. Oh. To the left. Hey, I want to act like you guys are with me in a room. Come on, y'all. Oh. To the left, y'all. Hey, good morning. Hey, bring it around, y'all. Hey, I know you said this is a dance class. To the left, y'all. Oh, to the right, y'all. Hey, who knows the songs? Because we need to come on out, y'all. Come on. I'm coming out. Hey, I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I see Emily. I see you over there. Hey, go ahead, Susan. Hey, oh, hey. There you go. There you go. One more time. To the left. Hey, to the right. All right. So we're going to stop there. Now, see, I get all excited and I forget that y'all are there. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm having a good time. But that is exactly what social media is all about. It's about you saying, I'm coming out. I want to share with everyone how excited I feel about what I do. I want to share with everyone, maybe if you're a problem solver, how my product solves a certain problem. So you guys tell me, did that get you going? Put in the chat box. Did that get you going? What did that do when I started out to dance to a familiar song, to show you a smile, and to bring you into this virtual room? Susan said, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. Emily says, I did it. It makes you real. It loosened me up. And I realized it's not all about seriousness. Thank you, because there's something beautiful about removing all that stuff. Really I want people to realize that social media is not about you being perfect and prim and proper the way we normally would do in traditional communication. Hello, my name is Susan. Hello, my name is Dr. Alana. No, it's like, come on, get loose. Let's have some fun. because people in the midst of a pandemic, we had all this time on our hands and we needed to get moving, didn't we? We needed to find something to look at beyond what was obviously in front of us. And we found ourselves, especially adults, because people thought, oh, well, TikTok is just for these younger people, or Instagram is just for these younger people. But how many of you know that Generation X, boomers and above started to use and tap into these social platforms as well? So I want to say good morning. I want to say you came for a special time, and I get so excited about this stuff. I really mean it when I say this. I get so excited that sometimes it's hard for me to sleep because I get excited about it, and that's what's beautiful. I also want to thank so many of you guys for showing up this morning. I want to thank Center for Women in Enterprise for allowing me to share in this partnership and to host this beautiful time together. So make sure you check out CWE and all the amazing things that they do. And you guys give big virtual applauses to Sam, because she's the bomb.com, isn't she? So I want to know who's in the room. So I'm going to give you some categories, and I just want you to put 1, 2, or 3. Number 1, if you're a newpreneur, you've never really used social media at all, you know it's important and you're trying to get going, that's you, number 1. Number 2, you're not a newpreneur. You've been in business. You've made some revenue. You're ready to learn how to use social media to scale. And number 3, you have a website. You already have maybe 1 or 2 social platforms. Number 3, you may use it, but maybe it's not really converting your fans the way you would like. So let's just see who I've got in the room. Oh, great. I got a lot of number 3s. That's wonderful. I see a lot of number 3s. So awesome. Now I want to know, what type of, if I had to characterize you, would you say number 1, you're an introvert, meaning you do what you do, you're great at your technical abilities to carry out your function, or you're really but you're not really an outgoing kind of person, or you are an extrovert and you love energy and you love kind of speaking and going to networking events, and we can see you all around these different types of places? Which one would you say you are? And then, oh, I love it. I see an ambivert in there. She says, Anna says, I'm a mix. Okay, good. 50-50 on both. Okay, great. So I want to ask you, when you think about social media, when you think about Instagram, when you think about TikTok or any of the other platforms, Facebook, what becomes overwhelming for you? What becomes overwhelming for you? Because I realize that I know that we are all pivoting and we have to pivot. So there's no staying the same. Whatever you did in 2019, that's, you've got to lift up from where we are right now. Somebody say pivot, pivot, pivot. And today, what I will specifically be talking about is not only the nature of you posting, because that's only one part. We need some conversions, right? How many of you say, I want to make revenue? I mean, business is all about that transactional process where you see a need for your target and you are able to then solve a need by your solution. Okay, so we all are trying to pivot. And I want you to know, whether you're an introvert, someone who hates, selfies, or you don't like really doing videos, you don't have to use videos of yourself if in fact you're that way. But if you're an extrovert, we can talk about ways to also showcase your genius. So what I'm going to share today is really, I would say there's a lot of information in here today. And the best thing to do is listen up. Who has notes? Who has a piece of paper and pen? And then we made sure that we've left a lot of time. But somebody say, I want more, Dr. D, right in the chat box, because I know that so many of you have showed up today and we had a great turnout in the last one. I have decided that immediately following this workshop, I'm going to stick around and give you a different Zoom link so that we can connect and answer any of your specific questions for 15 minutes. Okay. So if that's good, put that's good. Let's get this party started. I'm so glad that you guys are here. And 1 second. All right. So, when I started out, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story. I shared in part 1, so I don't really want to spend too much time going into it, but when I started, I knew that I wanted to really show experts and leaders and those people who have given themselves in certain industries. I really wanted them to see that social media was tangible, that they could remain authentic, and they didn't have to be, they didn't have to all have a huge following. They just needed to show up. So somebody put in the chat box, show up. Now, when you have a product or a service, people are not going to come to your basement to find you. Okay, let me say that again. If you're an entrepreneur, right, and you're starting out, people are not going to come in your basement necessarily to find you and to see all the genius that you provide. And now more than ever, you have to have some kind of social visibility beyond a static website. You know, back in the late 90s, mid 2000s, all you really had to have was a good website with your description of services, and you're pretty much good to go. Now we have what we call in UX design, responsive design, which means that you have to think, what is it that I really want these potential prospects to see and understand about me and my brand once they start to follow my social media platform? So I made a really clear decision once I started to say, I really want to show other experts how to do what I'm doing today, that every single post I made and every single quote or every single image had to do one or two things. It either was building my brand message, or number two, it was showcasing behind the scenes, behind the curtains, moments that we were having. And so one of the things that you're going to want to do is to think about how you want to start to build your brand online and that credibility. So here's a simple picture of a quote that I may post on one of my Instagrams. If you look at the color being purple, meaning purple and colors in general are really good for drawing people in. And I'm showing different places I've been speaking to or different clients in action and showing those kinds of things. Why would people want to see those things? Because they want to see that you're a real person. There's so much you can share in a photo that you can't share with words. And we want to show real images of things that we're up to. People love that. So the first thing is I want you to think about building credibility. 87% of shoppers today use e-commerce. 1.92 billion people will buy something online. And that was from 2019. 51% of Americans would rather shop online. So just imagine that today after the pandemic. Only 26% of the small business market has tried to create their own online e-commerce store. Somebody put only 26%. That's huge. That's a great opportunity for you. Somebody put opportunity, because if you realize that not many small business owners are tapping into social media to convert fans to becoming consumers, that's a big plus for you. That means there's an opportunity for you to tap into that and ask yourself, how can I, when I'm using these tools of Instagram or TikTok or Reels or whatever, how can I then use this to really alert these fans that I have something that really is going to help them solve a problem? I want to know, somebody put in the chat box, what industry are you in? Are you a service provider? Are you someone who has a product? Are you someone who's a coach? I would love to know what kind. I love it. Jewelry maker, video production. Oh, you're definitely needed products. Good, Anna. I'm a burnout coach. Boy, Emily, did everyone need you today? There's a lot of burnout going on. I'm an artist. I design homes, independent wellness nurse, service provider, wreath making. Oh my gosh, this is your season, like right now. Mental health educator, Becca says, I love it. So we've got a lot of you in the room that either are solving problems or you are a great resource for helping people to develop content. I love that. Workshops of printmaking and artwork. This is wonderful. So we have amazing people in the room. You guys are awesome. So you want to establish social proof. And so when you're thinking about why you would use Instagram or TikTok, you're really establishing a presence. And on TikTok, you can do things like create a 12-second video, or even in my case, sometimes I'll do a 7-second video. You can do things like use a TikTok video to create group choreography. Now, one thing I always say is that, let me just stop sharing for one quick second. Hold on, guys. So let's talk about it. So all forms of social media is really to build community around a brand message, around a certain cause or a campaign, or to really convert your fans to become followers. I always say that you don't want to be so concerned about numbers and how many followers you have. Someone put in the chat box, it's quality versus quantity in the beginning. In the beginning, it's about the quality, because you don't want, I've seen it before, you don't want to buy 10,000 followers. I highly don't recommend that, because you want to make sure, even if you got your first 10 people to follow you on any of these platforms, that they're your best type of individual, right? You want to make sure that you understand that social media is really you allowing these people to come and follow you around a hashtag or that number symbol, so that they can realize, wait a minute, this person, I love it, Joanne. So they can say, Joanne is a sales consultant. I might need to tap into Joanne because she might have systems around selling that I don't get. And Joanne might have a whole campaign around TikTok, or even around, and I could think of so many songs that she could use right in TikTok. Now, if you think about, let me ask you this, what was the song that I played at the very beginning? Now, how many people in Generation X and above are aware of that song? Very good. The vast majority, everyone can connect. And what makes TikTok and even Instagram so interesting is that because tied into that platform, you can click on the music symbol and you can find a song or a genre that really reflects what your generation is about, or a moment in history. Like, there are certain songs that definitely, as a Gen Xer, there are certain songs I know I could play and everyone would be like, oh my gosh. Well, when I started my company and I thought, okay, no one knows me yet, I don't have any following, what's one thing I can do that will capture people's attention? Well, it was playing the I'm Coming Out song. And just like I was dancing, people got used to that. So they would come into Instagram on a right after a work day, because I would go live around 4:30 p.m. and I'd stay going live for a while. So I'd be on there for about an hour and a half or so. And people would say, are you going to play our song? And they automatically would just look forward to coming on there to see me dance to the I'm Coming Out song. Well, guess what? After that, 23 women started following my live streams consistently. We put together a conference, and guess what song we all danced to when we all physically met? It was I'm Coming Out. People were crying, people were hugging each other. It was amazing how song and music and movement could bring people from all over the world together, and we didn't know each other. And that was the beautiful part about social media. And I didn't care if I had 10 people watching me or 30. In the beginning, it did feel awkward because you're standing there and you're like, hi, good morning. I'm holding my phone, my banner is blocking it, but you're standing there and you're looking at your phone and you feel awkward. So someone put awkward in the chat box. You will feel awkward. It's part of the process. But when you get out of your own way and you start having fun and creating these moments of memory and story behind your brand or service, people draw to that. People draw to that because they're going to draw to someone naturally smiling and sharing a song that they loved or a moment, right? So you want to think, if I had to think about a song that really reflects my brand, or if I had to think about something that reflects what I'm doing, like the money, money, money song, money, 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 right? If I were in the sales industry, I might do something with that. And I might have myself moving around with a caption that gives a tip or two around how to save, right? Or how to pay off debt quicker. So you've got to start thinking creatively, because that's really what these tools are for. They are bridge builders. You're not building the platform, you're using it as a bridge. That's the best way I could actually explain it. All right, so let me get back to my slide. All right, so there are things that you want to make sure you do. So in the first part of this, I talked about having triad pathways, right? Meaning, so when people land on a short video of you, it shouldn't just stop there. When you create a small video on your phone, I always say create on your phone versus creating it in the app, because if you create it on your phone, you can send it to different places simultaneously. And then you can always edit it if you didn't like it or whatever. So I always recommend to create the video first on your phone and then upload it into the application. But even after that, you have to have a plan. Are you going to link people to a campaign? Are you going to link them to a cause? Are you linking them to sign up to something? Are you going to link them to being able to see the genius that you have. And you do have genius. And then step 3, I want you to establish some social media goals. Do not do what I call hashtag CMF, cross my fingers plans. They don't work. Cross my fingers and I'll post something and I hope it works. That's never going to work. Number 1, you have to have your options. You have to think, what are my goals for posting? Do I have a goal for building presence? Do I have a goal to create a campaign where I'm inviting a certain amount of people to an event and I want them to come? Do I have a goal to build community around a given cause? So when you're creating captivating short videos, you think about your brand's core message. Somebody put core message. You think about the brand's core message, and every single time you post, it should align with that message. Your core message should also be synonymous with your website. Like, I shouldn't look at your website and be confused. I should be able to look both at your website, what you post, the branding in terms of how things look. It should all align with your core values. Number 3, you want to think about how you can use movement. Like number 4, you want to think about how you can integrate a trending song. Number 5, you want to think about your target demographic. And then number 6, you always want to use the analysis tools right within Instagram and also within TikTok, because they show you how many people clicked and how many people viewed. And let me just share this again, because this is really important for me to say. You can have someone that has 20,000 followers and they're not making any money. How many of you guys say, oh my gosh, this is good. I need to talk to you guys about this because this is really important. So you can have someone literally have a website, a social media page that has 19,000 followers, but they are not making any revenue. And you can have someone who only has 800 followers and they are making revenue. So you have to recognize that if you are really clear about the purpose of your social media handle, and you really think about the messaging that you have, then you have a great opportunity. So that's why I always say in the beginning, don't worry so much about having hundreds and hundreds of followers. The big thing that you need to be thinking about is the message, is the story, and is the action that you want those particular targets to take. All right, so hold on. Somebody say, Dr. D, I'm still with you. Who's still with me? Hopefully I didn't lose you and I'm just going in now. So I'm looking at the chat box. Okay, awesome, Sophia, thank you. All right. So we're going to talk about this case study that we started with in part 1 of this, but we're going to go a little further. So we started out with this case study of this woman. We called her Diane. We'd say Diane had, she spent time studying and researching to becoming the person she is. She has multiple certifications. She's working as a consultant. And then because of the pandemic, she lost work and now she needs new ways to prospect. She's concerned about her financial future. How many people could say you could relate to Diana? Anybody? You're at this place, you're trying to increase revenue, you need to use social media, you're trying to, figure things out. Okay, good. And so she has some digital goals. She realizes, oh my gosh, I need to pivot. Maybe I'll offer some kind of hybrid training, or maybe I'll develop some type of digital experience of high value. How many of you want to understand how you do that? How do you take the videos that you upload into TikTok and into Instagram? And how do you then take that and turn that into an actual strategy? How many of you guys would love to know that? I want to ask. I know it's juicy information here. So one of the things I want you to realize is that it is possible. So let's say Diana takes time to study her target, because she has been doing training around public speaking for years. And now she's like, I want to help other experts and individuals learn how to speak better with more confidence so that they can land more contracts or get promotions on their jobs. So she takes time to study the types of individuals. Her target, for the most part, are women who are somewhere between the ages of 35 and 50. And she really wants to focus in on these individuals. So she takes time to do a SWOT analysis. She looks at the pain points. Somebody put pain points in the chat box. She says, oh my gosh, I understand my client. This woman is busy with her day job. She has goals to become a speaker. She lacks confidence. She has a little bit of self-doubt. She's holding back from opportunities because she wants to strengthen her speaking. And so Diana takes time to really study this woman, and she studies the WIIFM. Somebody put WIFM. What's in it for me? Diana realizes that nobody's going to click or even follow if they don't really make the connection between what she's posting and what they actually need, right? So she has to really think through, how am I going to appeal to this particular target and all the other ones that may follow? Now, I have a little active assignment for us right now. So just like Diana has to think of the pain points, I want someone to take a screenshot of this so you have it on your desktop. When you're done, put, I did it. I'm going to wait for you. So as you guys are taking a screenshot, as we activate right now, I want you to take a moment to think about your target. I'm actually going to play some soft music because this is really important. I really want you to activate what I'm talking about right now. So I want you to think about your target, who you actually plan to either work with or your ideal. And I want you to ask yourself this question: what are their pain points? What are my target's pain points? What are my target's goals? If I had to give a demographic of age, what would their age range be? And what would be maybe one of their biggest challenges? Now, is it okay if I play some soft music? So you guys put thumbs up. Yes, Dr. D, I'm still here. I'm doing homework. I'm activated. I want to know. Let's see who's still there. Okay, cool. So I'm going to play some soft music as you do this, but it should take us about 2 minutes or so, because this is really important. This is why you showed up. There's no sense of me talking all day if we don't have a moment of activation or simulation. All right, so guys, give me a second so I can play some soft music for us and think this through. We're going to take about 2 minutes just to get this done. All right, give me 1 second. All right. So we'll stop there. I know we could spend a lot of time on this, which we normally do, but for the sake of time, how many of you were able to at least come down with 1 or 2 pain points? Put that in the chat box. Yes, I was. I was able to think about the pain points. I know the age. I'm aware of the challenge. I understand the beliefs. I understand the sense of urgency. Now, can I just share? That's awesome. You guys are here. I love it. You're so engaged. That's wonderful. Now, look, can I just say this? There are millions of people on the internet right now looking for the solutions that you have. Somebody put in the chat box, people are looking for me. People are looking for me. And one of the biggest challenges we have when we are thinking about social media is that when we are thinking about posting, we just have this thing of like, we're just posting on our own, and we hope it works. Well, really I want you to start envisioning. Sometimes I tell my clients to do this. Grab a photo of your avatar or your highest promising client and put them on your computer, right? You can put a name to them. If you already have clients, put your top 2 or something like that. And whenever you're getting ready to post, look up at them, because they literally are waiting for you to help them with their issue. Are you a health guru? They're waiting for you to show them how they can lose those 10 pounds or 20 or whatever it might be. If you're a video person, oh my gosh, there is so much need right now for those creative elements to help those individuals who have tech overwhelm to figure out, well, what should I even post, right? So there's so much you can do. And when you put these avatars on your computer or around you, like I have in my office, I will look at my clients, or I'll look at maybe a speaking engagement I gave, and I'll say, oh my gosh, I need to remember that everything I create and everything I post is always for those particular prospects. Look, your prospects, they're the experts, not you. They're the ones leaning and looking at your content, and they will tune out if you're just posting things that have nothing to do with what they are dealing with. So that's the first thing. Get out of the way. And number 2, keep your target in mind. Now, great question. I was going to get to that, Aina, about the urgency. So with a sense of urgency, when we're thinking about either a product or a service, there are always individuals who you have your now individuals. These are people who are looking for solutions like right now. You have different types of prospects that will come to look at what you have to offer, right? So you want to think about how you can appeal with a sense of urgency. We have, for example, it's always interesting how you have Black Friday, and there are certain products that people will go to buy only around that time because they know that there are certain vouchers and coupons available for certain products. So they will make sure that they create something so that those individuals will pursue them and pursue their product or their service. And so hold on. And remember, if you have questions and I'm continuing, we will have time at the end. We have until 11:30, right? I can't remember. I think it's 11:30.
Perfect.
Right. Okay. So when we think about the conversion, let's just say, okay, we came up here. Let me go back. Let's say Diana did her work like we did. She did the whole avatar. She understands who she wants to serve. So now she has, 5 steps of conversion. Step 1, she creates a 5-week campaign. So anytime you create these short videos on TikTok or Instagram, somebody put campaign in the chat box. You're not just randomly posting, you do have a goal. Number 2, step 2, she uses video reels that link to a public speaking offer, right? And so what happens when you post something on TikTok, and if you link your Instagram account, then that person can actually click back to your Instagram. And there is a tool called Linktree that can go underneath your bio. Now, I'm not going to share if we had more time, I would do it today, but I'm going to put my Instagram handle there in the chat box. And if you were to go to my Instagram handle, you would see the Linktree at the bottom. And so what Linktree does as part of your bio in Instagram is it allows you to share multiple links, right? So hopefully if someone sees a video or something you do on TikTok and they go back to your Instagram, well, they can look at Linktree and they can click on that and they can see your website, they can see an offer, they can see whatever you got going on. They can tap that and click on multiple links. Then step 3, she sends a follow-up message to her most raving fans. Now, let me just stop here because sometimes people forget. Anytime you click on someone's post or anytime someone clicks on your post, they are essentially tapping into your virtual assets. And you are doing the same. You're approving it, you're validating it, you're raising the bar at algorithms. Anytime you click like, they're doing it for you as well. So what you want to do is anytime someone clicks like or they make a message, don't just say, great, 3 people liked it. You actually want to go back and actually text them, send them a message. Now, there are multiple tools now. We could even talk about LinkedIn, but that's not what this is about. But in any of those platforms, you always want to go back and actually start to talk to the person. And please don't say, oh, buy my product tomorrow. You can just say, oh my gosh, I saw that you clicked this link. Oh, that's amazing. What are you up to? So that you can really get a sense of why they clicked onto your photo. Step 4. So let's say Diana made this goal, because I'm all about goals, that she wanted to somehow, from all the engagement, she wanted to at least get a hold of 10 people's emails over a 5-week period. So 10 people a week, up to 50 individuals, maybe she's gotten their emails. And her goal is to close 25% of those emails. So she invites them to a number of, maybe a couple of free masterminds. And from those masterminds, we know on average, 25% of individuals will close from a social experience. So in her case, if she were to close 12 people at $5.99 for this 8-week program, she would have made an extra $7,100. How many of you guys say, oh my gosh, that's great, I love that? Somebody say, yes, I love that. So it is possible. It is really possible. And really, how did that happen? Well, Laura started to tune into Diana's Reels over 60 days. She probably went over to Instagram as well. And after 60 days, she books an appointment. Diana starts to tag Laura in her IG post so that Laura knows when she's on. And Laura enrolls in Diana's mastermind. All right. So when we think about types of engagement, we have different types. And I want you to think about what makes sense for you, because this is why you showed up today. So when you're thinking about why you would go live or what you would do, there's a lot of different narratives you're really using. Think about Dorothy going down the yellow brick road. She's telling a story. We're watching that story as she meets the scarecrow and the lion and all these people. So we have narrative 1, which is where you do a first person behind the scenes, right? And so I'm going to give you guys an example of that. Hold on. How many of you guys want to see me go live for real? Like right now while we're watching. I love doing live things because I feel like when I do it live, you can see that I am okay. So hold on. In order for you guys to see my phone, I need to turn off my virtual background. So you guys give me 1 second to do that. Let's see, it's my regular background. And then I'm gonna pick up my phone. This is always fun. And if you have your phone, you can see me you can actually watch me because I'm about to go live while we're on here together. So hold on. And I'm clicking live. And here we go. Hello, everyone. It's yours truly, Dr. D Inspire. I am here with the Center for Women in Enterprise. And I want to say thanks to everyone who decided to show up for this TikTok and Instagram Reels live stream. Hey, CWE, thank you for tapping in. And I want to let you guys know that your dreams and your goals are absolutely possible. Take care. All right, so we're multitasking. Let's see if this works. All right. Oh, okay. So I'm not going to share that but you guys saw me go live. But as you can see, you feel awkward. You're like, oh my gosh, who's going to be on? Don't worry about it. So the whole idea is that you just have to get out of your skin and you have to remember, what is my intention for posting? So just to give you, my Instagram is, I'll give it to you, at Dr. D Inspire with a Y. So one of the things you want to do is you want to figure out what kind of narrative. So in this case, I gave a first person narrative. And if you're someone who does events, or even if you have a product or a service and you are doing something special to launch something, that's a great example. So you would say, hi, everyone. And you would just kind of introduce yourself, let them know that you're behind the scenes. Now, the problem today is if you don't post it, it's almost as if your event didn't happen. So you want to make sure you do that. The other thing I always tell my clients to do, because sometimes we forget, sometimes we're so into what we do, we forget to get what I call user-generated content. That means allow individuals to come. So sometimes when I'm speaking and there's a lot going on, just so that I don't miss the testimonial moment, I'll say, hey, who wants to join me up here at the platform? And I might put my arm around them. Well, that was pre-COVID, I might put my arm around them and do an actual selfie video where them and I get to talk about what highlights they learned from one of the workshops I gave. So that's one narrative that you have. All right. And so then you have another. You can have text-based video. So these are for all of my introverts. If you hate video and you're like, why do I need to be there? You can always use text-based video to do your Instagram or your TikTok reels. You can also use narrative 3, where you're working up towards an event. And so you use what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. So you do an event. And so don't just say only 5 people came. No, you do the event. You take photos with the 5 people, and then you plan your next event. So people who missed that first one, they can say, oh my gosh, I can't miss the next one. Narrative 4, you're showing a climactic moment in your business. Maybe you've got new branding, maybe there's a new product launch. So you're showing us that. Narrative 5. Now, I always say to people, when you're a business, yes, you can use Instagram yes, you can use TikTok and all of these other tools, as you may, but when you're an actual business, I'm just changing my background again. When you're an actual business, I always say, have a purpose. So when you have those group photos of people dancing, a great tip here, somebody put swag. It's a great opportunity to use swag. So I don't have time today, but if you have t-shirts with your brand image and people all dance the same song, maybe they do the electric slide, a 20-second electric slide video of something about your brand or your message, and they're all wearing swag paraphernalia from your brand, from your company. That's a great way to show visibility, and you're showing fun and creating an experience as well. All right, so hold on, and then we'll have time. And then, so one of my clients, this woman here, she lived in another country. Who would have thought that by me going live on Instagram, she would join this community? Well, she stayed in the community for almost 2.5 years. She created her first $1,000 within 40 days. She increased her following from 0 to 250 back then, and she's done a lot more since then. She was endorsed in her country on national television. She had sponsorship opportunities. She's impacting families, all because of understanding this method of what I was talking about earlier, which is the click method. Having a clear purpose, locating the needs of your audience, ideating with strategy and creativity, having an understanding of the key of return on investment of how she was spending her time. Because if you only post things on TikTok and Instagram and don't take time to measure what you're doing, you could spend a lot of time being busy. Somebody say, Dr. G, I don't want to be busy. I want to have results. So the way you have results is to tap into that strategy of really, I have to go back to that one slide, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. You really have to, the way this works is you really have to go back and really ask yourself, what are the pain points I'm trying to solve? And how will I convert these individuals that I have following me into either consumers or followers? And then lastly, you have to remain consistent as you build brand engagement. So I want you to know that you have to then decide what, I could spend all day talking to you about all the tech tools of TikTok and Instagram, but at the end of the day, somebody put authentic in the chat box. At the end of the day, what's going to separate you from all the noise of social media is your ability to be authentic. So one of the things I made an early decision of was I was going to just be me. I was going to be me. If I wanted to dance to Diana Ross because that was my song, I was going to be consistent with it. And I was going to have moments where maybe I did wear makeup, and I was going to have moments where maybe I didn't wear makeup and I was going to be outside somewhere, maybe going for a walk, because my brand is more service oriented and is definitely towards people looking to brand themselves. But that might not be you. You may have a different brand. For example, Starbucks is a brand. And what people don't realize is how engaging Starbucks actually is on their social media, how they have so many different types of humanitarian projects going on. Even if we think of someone like Tony Robbins, who has a big cause marketing program going on where he's always raising money for the hungry, right? And so what makes social media fun? Somebody put clear the noise, clear the noise. What makes it fun is when you are able to look at your business, your service, your product, and then ask yourself, based upon my personality, how I like to do things, the things I read, the blogs I peruse, what's going to be more realistic for me as I build this? And if you've already have clients and things like that, one of the number one things you can start to do is re-engage them. And then I would say, don't, if I wouldn't advise that you do Instagram and TikTok at the same time. Our primary social media platform that we use to engage our prospects are with Instagram. And then we're slowly building our TikTok right now, but do not get lost in the numbers. You might have a day where you have 4 people who viewed what you viewed, and you might have another day where 6,000 people have viewed what you viewed. And I've done things like play around with it, like post a video and go, oh, 10 people watched today. And I'll delete the same video, re-upload the same video, and 2,000 people will watch it. So don't get lost with, oh my gosh, only 2 people viewed. You don't want to see that, because algorithms don't work that way. Algorithms simply are measurements and tools that are used to raise the viewership of a given post. And in your case, you just want to remain consistent. You want to be authentic. You want to be consistent. So for me, I came up with a hashtag. Hashtag UPML stood for I can and I will upgrade my life. And a lot of people, my demographic, loved it, because they all felt like, well, I've been an expert for 20 years, or I've been doing this for 15 years, and I definitely want to upgrade. So it was a no-brainer for them. We got t-shirts that said hashtag UPML. We use the hashtag in all of our captions. So in the same way, when you start to build your campaign, build campaigns 5 weeks out. You're not going to see anything in 2 days, right? Don't try to sit down and start posting everything for 8 hours on LinkedIn, Facebook. And I've seen people do it. Please do not burn yourself out. So we don't want you to burn out. We want you to have strategy. So once you have a good strategy, then you'll start realizing that your consistency and your ability to have fun the way we did with the posts, those are the things that are going to allow you to keep going. Now, you can use, now when we're thinking about what to post, right, you want to start asking yourself again, well, if I have a financial business and I know that my clientele struggles with being in a lot of debt, then maybe my entire 5-week campaign is giving people solutions to get out of debt. And I'm inviting them to an overall masterclass. And from that masterclass that is free, a free opt-in, then maybe you invite them to one-on-one coaching or some kind of group coaching. But that's the way it works. You have to plan the foundation first before you just start letting people in. Now, it could be you just have to you might be at the very beginning. So in that case, you're just building your brand credibility. And when you're building your online presence, you're just making sure that your color schema is correct, that your website and your posts are well, your infographics are aligned with what you're doing. Now, somebody please put focus. Can someone please put focus in the chat box? Focus, Dr. D. I'm not gone. Someone put focus. All right. So I see a lot of focus here. Here's the deal. This is what normally happens when people decide to do things on social media, right? You opt into things, and then all of a sudden your email is flooded with, do this in 10 days and this is going to happen. And now you've got like 7 campaigns being emailed to your email. You're opted into all these things, and you look at the end of the year, you're like, what am I doing? Has anyone ever had that happen? Well, once I got tired of that, I realized I need to stop. I need to stop, and I really need to focus. And I don't have to be everywhere. And I do have to be in a process, which is why I love Center for Women in Enterprise. So you can always look at their library and resources. But at some point, even when I meet with my clients, I go, at some point, you have to stop and you have to focus and think about your 3 core messages. Not the 8 things you can do well and the 10 things you can do, and you got a site here and you got one over there. No, I need you to focus. So here's the deal. When we have a product or a service of high value, how many times do you think someone's going to go to your social media platform or your website? Somebody put that in the chat box. How many times do you think someone's going to go to your your website or your social handle before they actually invest. Someone have any idea? 40 times. Emily says 5. Good. Anybody else? 10. Lily says 10 times. Good. So on average, we've got around 18 times for your average type of process that someone might actually go through. So with that said, and even more so, and it might even take even longer if you have like a social presence and they've never seen you in a room before. So what's interesting about social media is once you're consistent and people start seeing your posts and things like that, and you have this campaign, there's a beautiful feeling that actually happens. Something beautiful happens when you start putting real people to these names that seem funny, you know, like John 4372. Who is that person? But that's a real, in most cases, that's a real person. And you'll start seeing John 3472 continuously starting to click like on what you're doing. That means that they are a highly probable prospect for you, and you want to start engaging them. So one of the things you start to have to think about is, how can I consistently do that? Now, we have a good amount of time right now, and I promise you that that little activity we did with the pain points was for a reason. And I'm going to ask Sam to allow, Sam, whenever you're ready, you can actually call on some people. Now, if you want to share with me a little bit about the pain points and maybe even some questions you have about how to kind of get this social media campaign that you might be building together, this is a great time. And again, I'm also going to put in 2 links in here in the chat box, because number one, for anyone who decides to take immediate action today by subscribing to my website, I'm going to give you a voucher to attend a free event that we're having called Upgrade My Life and Business Challenge. It's happening in November. I'm going to share that with you. And I'm also going to share with you the alternative link to meet with me right after this when we're done. So while I share, Sam, you can see if anyone has any questions.
All right, so it looks like Carlene, you have your hand raised. So what I'll do is I'll click allow to talk.
Yep.
And then if you just unmute yourself, Carlene, you should be able to ask your question. And I did see someone ask, we'll be getting the slides after this presentation. Dr. Alana, if you're good with that, I'm happy to send them out. But just so folks know, you'll also get the recording too.
Yes, so we typically send out the recording. So Sam, when you guys get that, you can see the slides that way.
Sounds good. If other folks have questions, you should see at the bottom of your screen, you can raise your hand. So if you just raise your hand, I'll go ahead and allow you to talk. So if anyone has any questions, just raise that hand and I'll unmute you. Or if you would rather put them in the chat, that's also an option too. Oh, it looks like Lily. We'll see.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My business is a service. I'm kind of confused on how I have my Instagram, I have my Facebook set up, but when I post, my daughters tell me I post like an old person. So I need to learn how to generate a hashtag. My company is Duffels. I supply duffel bags to children within the foster care system because children live out of garbage bags and trash bags. So Duffels would like to personalize where they can move from home to home with dignity and pride. So my demographic will be old because I collect backpacks and duffel bags because old children are in the foster care system. But how do I get it with just posting backpacks, duffel bags? What else can I get to generate them coming in? Because and even with them want to donate a sponsor, how can I do that besides just posting the duffel bags and backpacks?
That's a great, first of all, thank you for doing that, because I know that those young people need it. And my question to you would be, is your goal to really showcase to donors or people who want to invest in the duffel bags for you to give it away for free? Or what is it? How do you do it right now?
Right now, I partner with Cambridge Children Family Services, so I have someone to distribute the bags with. This is a private, so I feel I can say this. I have a sponsor, National Council of Negro Women, the Boston section. They sponsor duffel bags also. I have my missionary society that donate duffel bags, but all I have are the duffel bags. So how can I attract the audience with just the duffel bags to let them know what I'm promoting and how to get more coming in and generate? And I'm a newbie, it's only a year old. And with COVID, it was at a standstill. So now I'm in a phase of rebuilding up again.
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations. I love it. We call that cause marketing. You have a mega opportunity. And if you were in my office, I would say to you that your complete focus needs to be around your target is really those people who are excited to maybe donate or invest in your duffel bag program, but also you have a bigger story to tell. And so what that means is when you're thinking about the why behind what these duffel bags will do with these young people, we would then need to do something like, for example, I'm making this up. So let's just say there was a foster home called the Foster Home of America. I'm making it up, but let's just say you partnered with the Foster Home of America. Well, you decided that you're going to join them to do a 5-week campaign. In that case, it could be that you guys do a major launch of these duffel bags and you really take 5 to even 8 weeks to get people excited about what's going on with these duffel bags and these young people. What people will be drawn to is the bigger message around the legacy of giving back to the community and giving young people an opportunity to get their lives together. That's a bigger message than that's tied behind the duffel bag. So we could even have something where that whole entire campaign is all around the story around how the duffel bags came to be. So on the fifth week, right, you have an opportunity where people can now come to maybe a virtual event where they're seeing maybe some of the foster care centers and maybe some proud alums that, and some people that have your duffel bags. And so you can have a whole campaign around. Now, let me backtrack. In your case, I would definitely come up with a unique hashtag that is something like, I'm making this up, you could have hashtag legacy or something like that, right? Or I'm making it up, but if you had a hashtag that people could follow over an 8-week period, you'll start to build traction around that hashtag and around what that actual hashtag in terms of the message means. And you just really need to take time though to build up that story and then to tap into all of those other foster care centers and maybe even some of the board members to see what's their message and how can you work with them to align that message. And once you have something like that, then you're really building a great, I love that. Duffel's not trash bags. I love it. But then you can also do things like that and also partner with schools, and because they all have guidance programs, there's so much you can do. So I definitely hope that you do reach out or you come right after if you have time. I'll put my email here as well, because you have a great story that you're trying to tell. I also will say, if you guys are around, Turning on the Lights has partnered with the city of Boston with We Boss, and we're doing a special social media for Boss Ladies event this Wednesday at no cost. Just email me right there. There's my email that you're interested, and I'll make sure to send you the Zoom link to attend. But I love your mission. I just like a long answer because I love what you're trying to do. So I could spend up all this time, but thank you so much. Hopefully that helped you a little bit. And let's see if there are other questions. Thank you, Sam.
All right. If anyone else has a question, if you just want to click that raise hand button and I'll be able to unmute you.
So while Sam is doing that, I also want to just give you guys a chance to know, again, you have an opportunity to, somebody put Spark. So you have an opportunity to get activated. There is actually part one highlights in this link that I'm sharing today. And also for those of you who showed up, you participated, you want more, definitely there is the Spark link there so you can subscribe and you can follow. But I'm also going to share, with you this. You have so we're in October, and let me highlight, when we're in social media branding, we're getting ready to go into the Black Friday. We're also getting ready to go into the new year. These two parts for the sales cycle of anybody in any service or industry are really huge. So if I were you, somebody put, I'm going to take drastic action. If I were you, I need to get an email from you because I want to see how I can help you create that. How can I help you create a robust campaign, not next year, like seriously starting next week? Because a lot of times we hear something like this and we go, I'll wait until next month. No, actually, you have exactly what you need to get going. People need you. People need your service. Dr. D, can you please put your email in again? Yes, I'm going to put my email here again.
I just threw it in the chat, so it is there.
Thank you. So you're saving me time. So there it is. And also to, I also will put this virtual pass was just for after this today. If you want to just jump onto Zoom and ask me a few questions, you can click on this link here and just come into this if you want to meet with me after to talk about what we talked about today. Any other questions? So the last thing I'll just say is take action today. You know, don't be, it's scary, but remember, just like we danced earlier, have fun with it. Think about the themes and the songs that you absolutely like and give it a stab, right? And so I would say this, when you're thinking about how you want to use your videos on TikTok, you don't have to dance if you don't want to. And I always say to business owners specifically, if you're not using TikTok personally, and you decide to use it for business, definitely use it with a purpose. So I always say, if you're going to do like a dance move or something like that, think through what is the message, what's the core message you're trying to share, and then make sure when someone clicks, they have another opportunity to click to learn more about you, your brand, and your message. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see if Sam has any other questions.
So the only question that I saw was from Becca. So she had asked, do you plan campaigns for clients? So I guess just what your role is and explaining that would be super helpful.
Thank you. So we actually, in Turning on the Lights Global Institute, we have a number of programs that we offer. One is called Business Communication Mastery, and that is actually taking you from the very beginning of your business cycle and looking at how you can turn what I call your genius into a brandable message, because sometimes we don't even realize that we have genius. I'm like, I'm a genius? Yes, you are. So if you've been doing something for a number of years, or you've been in the industry for a number of years and you have those skills and specialties, what you want to be able to do is show people little samples. Like, think of yourself going to the mall and they would give you a sample, a little teaser. You don't want to put everything out there, but you just want to give people a chance. So what we do is we show you where your genius is. We also show you where all of the opportunities are in terms of how do you take your know-how and turn it into and digitize it. Do you digitize it into a course? Do you do a hybrid experience? Do you create your strategy with events only? So we take time to think through all of that for the clients that we deal with. We customize, we basically help you wherever angle or stage your business is actually in. So I hope that helps. Can you tell me which link is for directly after? Yes. So let me put it again. So if you want to come to the meeting directly after, you want to go here. Okay, so that will bring you to the link directly after. And also, if you want to just email me and you want to come, I'm also going to put my phone number in here just in case. And then I want to say thank you to Sam and to everybody for being here today, because you could have been doing anything, but you showed up, and I appreciate all of you for stopping in. Hold on one second. And I'm lastly going to just share my slides so you guys can also just take a picture of that. But I want to thank you. Today was so much fun. I enjoyed dancing with you. That was a lot of fun for me. And Sam, any last thoughts you want to share?
Awesome. That about does it. So as a reminder, everyone, you will be getting the recording from today. And then I'll make sure to include Dr. Alana's information just so you have it right on hand. But other than that, I'll echo what Dr. Alana said. Just thank you so much for joining us and for being so active. This is like one of the most lively groups we've had. So you love to see it on a Monday morning. So the fact that you can get that out of people is so impressive. So we love it. Thank you so, so much. And hopefully we'll have you back soon.
So if you want to meet with me, you guys have my email. It's right there. You got my phone number, right? And Sam, if you don't mind me just sharing this screen, hold on. Oh, it's not letting me, so it's sharing something else. All right, well, you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you, Sam. You guys have my phone number. We'll see you in the Zoom room right after this. Thank you. Oh, didn't get the phone number, 781-957-8603. All right, thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.